Farmers market is a place where local farmers can bring freshly grown produce in and sell it at a reasonable price. It's very competitive to supermarket prices. Most of the time it's a little less than supermarket prices. It's all fresh, and that's why we can compete, because we are fresh and comes right off. We get meats, both beef and pork. We don't get much chicken. Chicken is pretty much commercially grown and shipped, so you don't get a lot of free-range chicken. Beef and pork, and like I say, it has to be inspected. It cannot come on the farmer's market lot unless it is inspected and packaged by a certified packer. Produce that people knows where it's coming from, produce that they know that it hasn't had a lot of pesticides on it, and it's treated the right way without any kind of, hopefully, any kind of material that would make them sick. And that's why they're going more to farmers. Anytime they go to the grocery store and get it, they don't have a clue where it's coming from. And then you get an E. coli scare, and that just makes it bloom beyond recognition. And that's why they come back and are coming to the local farmers market.
Do you think it's healthier?
I think it is healthier food in the aspect that it's local grown. It's not imported. It's probably a lot less pesticides and things like that used on it that's local grown. So in that aspect, yeah, I think it is a lot healthier. The problem now is, just like the new law that they've just passed, requires nothing that's imported. There's no restrictions. The restrictions are all on us, the producer here in our country. And the problem will be the expense. The expense is going to get so high that either the farmer can't produce it or people can't afford to buy it. Probably, even though that it's like it is now, there's so much expense to be certified, where a large production farm can do it without too much problem and not really notice the cost that much. A small farm or a small bakery or a small cannery cannot absorb that cost as much. So the cost probably is more an issue than anything else as far as a small farmer goes. Most local farmers produce their own feed. It's all organic, and which makes the meat a lot better. Well, I'm a farmer, so I'm not for that type of production, for the simple fact that when you do that, you really don't know what you're cutting out or adding to it. And we as a generation probably will never know what the true effects of that type of food that's grown that way, what it'll have on us. So I guess it's scary in one way to think about it, how that you can manipulate stuff to make it grow. But the other aspect is, what are you taking away, and what's it going to cause down the road? So being a small farmer, I'm not particularly in favor of that, because I believe in fresh grown produce. It does. It helps it two ways. It brings the money into the community, and it helps the farmers sell their produce. So it's two ways, and it can't do nothing but get strong. Probably what you need to do is you got to have a place to have it. Of course, there is laws that you have to deal with as far as being certified on certain stuff. Some of your breads and your things like that, your meats, all meats have to be inspected. So there's things that you have to comply with. But basically, to start a farmer's market, you just have to have a place to have it and announce the date you're going to start it, and farmers will show up to sell their produce. Oh, I think the future of farmer markets is great. If you take notice now, every small town has a farmer's market, where a few years ago you only had a farmer's market in some of the larger towns, and sometimes just in a region. And this year alone, probably there's been 8 to 10 small farmers markets in little small towns develop that are really taking off. So I think people are leaning towards that way to buy seasonal stuff, and I look look for the farmers markets to really grow. First thing is the type of environment they will find when they visit a farmer's market. It's a very friendly environment. They can talk to the producers right on hand and find out how they grew the produce or the fruits. They can find out what's been put on them as far as any type of insecticides, what kind of fertilizer has been used, things like this. So they're buying the known instead of the unknown. And that makes a farmer's market real unique in that they can actually talk to the producer while they're buying.